Boys and girls, welcome to Dominion Gaming TV. My name is Wolf, and today I'm bringing to you a tactics video for Dawn of War 2 Retribution. I am playing Space Marines. I have played Space Marines. This is going to be watching a replay of what I have done versus a friend of mine who I recently met over this past free weekend with Dawn of War 2 for free on Steam. I met him and been playing some games, and I decided let's 1v1, and I'm going to save the game and do my build order. So we have myself playing as the Space Marines, the Ultramarines, up in the top left hand corner in the significant blue, and then in the bottom right hand side we have my opponent, who's going to be playing World Bearers, also known as the Chaos Space Marines. That means they have the sick ass skins. So he's going to be just going straight into Chaos Havoc, so I'm going to be going straight into Tactical Marines. So the point of this build, and the main reason why I love it, is that it gets you out onto the map really early, and it allows you to capture more of the map quicker, and by the time that they come to try and push you back, you have out some Devastator Marines to do a really good pincer maneuver or anything like that, and you will see later on in the game where I'm able to utilize this kind of thing, getting the scout out far really early to get these further points, where on a VP map I'll be able to take this VP straight away. I already have my force commander up to take this VP. Center VP isn't a big problem. Actually, I think 1v1 it's 1, 2, 3, but even then, scouts there's a lot more focus in the center of the map when it's victory point on this map. But we're going to be having these heretics coming in here onto my scouts. My scouts decided to back away here, and he doesn't want any of that. My Kraken Bolt is going to be getting some extra shots down onto his heretics. Now we got Chaos Space Marines over this side, and World Bearers over this side. Now, the first thing you want to do with your force hero is, once you've set up enough resources, requisition and power, is to get a power sword. Now this will up his strength twofold and make him so much better in any fights. As you can see, he's gone for an extra squad here, but that's not a big deal because I actually have I still have the power advantage here. He should be taking more of the map, but unfortunate for him, he's not as active with his squads. So this is what guy's squads are just sitting here while I'm getting free damage down to his Chaos Lord, and he does decide to turn there afterwards. But now that I've got the power sword, this fight gets pretty one-sided pretty quickly. I did lose a scout squad in the south, which was quite unfortunate in this engagement over here. But I did force a retreat from his Chaos Space Marines, and that's not the biggest loss, but I would have preferred to keep that. That was a bad macro on my part. We got very close over in the north, and I decided to back away. The main focus of this is to keep your units alive and be as cost efficient as possible. So right now I just have the 2 TAC Marines and my Force Commander, which is an alright kind of setup. I did end up upgrading these guys with Flamers, simply because of the fact that he's playing Chaos and he's going to be in cover, he's going to have heretics coming at me. I'm just going to want to burn it all. I do actually forget about this squad for the longest time, so even now I could be more efficient than what I actually already am. Now, what you want to do is, after that first 20 is spent on the power sword, you want to get a Devastator Marine squad. These are pivotal to this build, as they just put so much hurt down onto opponents who try to push onto your position, and allows you to set up great pincers and suppress enemies while just getting all of your units in there and your Force Commander in there just to do so much damage. Now, as you can see here, I'm sending in my Force Commander up this way, sending up my Flamer squad down here, just to start burning down onto the squad and cover, and my Force Commander will come in from behind and do so much damage. We got these guys here, just sitting here, doing nothing. They should be moving out down here. Now we do see he is just setting up this squad here and just defending with that. Not sure why, but that was his decision. He decides to get out a noise marine here, which it can be annoying, but I find that they're not actually that great, because you can just shoot from afar. If he does this, you can just wait on the outside. I do just let him actually go in for a bit, and then once he starts shooting on you again, you just run straight back in and do so much damage. I find noise marines are a bit more expensive than for what they're worth. And now I'll just turn my focus directly onto the Chaos Lord. Your next upgrade that you'll want to get ASAP as well, after you get that first Devastator squad, is the Artificer Armor. This gives your Force Commander higher health regen and health total. And then after that, you directly want to get an Iron Halo. This changes battles like crazy once gotten early. And as you can see here, I'm going to be able to get an early HQ kill and end up forcing out high requisition out of my opponent. Now I'm going to be sending this squad round down to the south, not knowing that this force is here, and they're going to be encountering for the first time just now. And from here, I think I decide to back away, as I don't really want to take this fight right now. I can just hold center and be content with him just sitting there on the high ground, and I'll be okay, because I have control of the right hand side, and if he decides to push left, I can easily shift across. Now he is just going to be using these Noise Marines and Chaos Space Marines just to try and push north. But as you can see here, I see them about to come up in a moment, and I'm going to set up a good position. Now I move my Force Commander forward and see these forces push up trying to take out my Force Commander. And over here I have these guys. But my first move is to move Force Commander back, get these guys ready, and move these guys across. He's set up with 3 juicy units, come over right in between them all, and all I have to do is just A-move with these guys, A-move with these guys, and A-move with my Force Commander, and do a little bit of micro that I need. Now the Devastator squad is set up perfectly. It's going to put so much damage down and suppress these guys, which will allow my Force Commander to get in there and just do so much damage. He decides to shift his focus onto my commander, and I do try and get some extra damage down onto the Noise Marines, but decide to just turn all my focus onto the Chaos Lord in just a moment. And just so I can try and deal as much damage as possible. I got 4 units all over him, and he doesn't actually retreat in time, and that does force another huge requisition loss for the opponent. From here, I can pretty much do anything I want, but at this stage of the game, now that I have map control, quickly take up to Stronghold, level 2. That is probably the best time to do it. Because if he does a big push out with everything he has to one side, you can still delay as long as possible with a little bit of like micro and positioning. You can still delay until tier 2 comes out, and he can't beat you at this point in the game. You need tier 2 to be able to win the game in Annihilate mode, just simply because of the base defenses. You got heavy bolters for the Chaos, and then you got heavy bolters for the Space Marines. So really, he cannot attack and kill me until tier 2, and I cannot attack and kill him until tier 2 as well. So from here, a fast tech up to tier 2 is probably the best way to go. Now for now, I'm just content with spreading out across the map, making sure I can see everything, getting down additional generators, as I am going to need a little bit more power coming into this next kind of next phase of the match. The next setup of this build is to get in a Razorback, at least one. Razorbacks are a very good unit, as they can reinforce on your units on the battlefield, and they can tank so much damage, because at tier 1 there is next to no anti-vehicle for a lot of the factions. There is a little bit, there are grenades, there are some factions which do have different ways to deal with vehicles, but I find a Razorback a very good answer to the mid game, as the opponent has to be taking up to tier 2, and as you can see now, only taking up to tier 2 right now means that Dylan, the Chaos player, is going to be very far behind in tech, as I already have my Razorback almost 3/4 complete. I can see that he hasn't revived his commander because he's wanted to tech up. I gathered that, that this was the case because otherwise he'd be so far down in requisition after paying for him so early in the game. So killing him a second time was pivotal to keeping him down onto tier 1 for so long, and this allowed me to take that tech advantage to the next level and get that Razorback out super early, super quick. This is probably actually a bit late of tier 2. I've seen a lot of tier 2 rushes in 2v2s. But yeah. So right now, just going to send the Razorback in to tank the damage. Have these guys on the left to take out some squads. So as you can see, I've actually upgraded them with missile launchers. This is for the next phase of my game, where I go to take out the enemy base. And you'll see these guys will get upgraded with las cannons soon, and you'll see these guys get upgraded to missile launchers eventually as well. Now you just send in the Razorback to flank, so therefore their cover isn't valid. And from the right hand side you got the burners just going to be burning through cover. Force Commander coming in with his power sword and all of his epic war gear, killing absolutely everything. And I end up wiping both of these squads, I do believe. It's just, again, pincer-ing his forces, knowing where he was going to be, and just absolutely killing everything. Now from here, you just send the Razorback up. I decided to get a second Razorback as they're just really good against infantry. Force Commander being sent in here, Razorback being sent over, and all forces moved up. Now, in this map, this match in particular, I was able to embody everything that I wanted to in this build. I was able to dictate the pace of the game. I was able to capture all the points really early, which gave me a large income and a large tech lead. So I was able to get all the tech I needed at the right time. I was able to get those bonus squads for his cover and positions. I was able to get all the upgrades from my Force Commander, getting each of these first tier upgrades. They're probably the best upgrades you can get for the Force Commander for the majority of the game. Until maybe tier 3 you want to get a Terminator armor on them, but even then I do believe that these 3 are probably the best war gears you can get, unless you are playing a more of a maneuverable game where you need the sprint upgrade, but either way it's just super strong. Now all he has is this Chaos Lord, as he just lost everything, and he's just going to get wiped out again. And here you just send your Razorbacks forward to tank out. I should be sending these squads to the south so that they don't get taken out. He did end up reviving his Chaos Lord, but that's okay. We both have shields. We're just going to be standing there for a little bit. So really, I kind of misplayed this. I could have finished this a lot earlier. Or a little bit earlier, sorry. Probably about a minute earlier if I focused down on these. The heavy bolters, so that my units weren't suppressed for all this time. But other than that, it was a pretty solid victory on my part. Now, I really do like utilizing these tier 1 units, the Devastators and then Attack Marines, because in stage 2 they get so many unlocks wargear wise that it just makes them that much better. As you can see here, I reinforced this Attack Marine squad a little bit. Just Razorbacks are so good. So good. The only variation to this build that I'd go is maybe on a tighter map, going something like Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts are very good in close spaces and just can absolutely rip everyone apart. But I quickly focus everything down onto the Chaos Lord one last time, and he goes down. As you can see here, the Ultramarines doing what they do best, killing heretics and all that. Now, in retrospective, this build can be quite heavily countered, or quite countered if they get assault troopers or something of the sort. I find assault troopers or storm troopers, I do believe they're called, for the orcs, I find they're probably the best answers to this build, as they can jump past your lines and get onto your devastators while they have like a war boss or something coming in, and shooter boys getting in close. If your devastated squads can't do the suppressing that they need, then they can get quite easily taken out. Another one is Howling Banshees. They are very scary if not dealt with properly. So that was pretty much the game. There are a few other answers to this build, and if you can like just survive and keep moving out there on the map and keep pushing me back and getting some surprises on me, then that's probably another good way. Guardians are very strong once you have two of them and they're not getting attacked. So say you got a Warlock and a Howling Banshee squad and two Guardians, they just do so much damage. You can't actually just stand there and tank it like Space Marines. You got to run back and set yourself up. The biggest part about this whole build is just map control and preempting what your opponent's going to do there. I saw that he was going to come over and swing right once I pushed in my Force Commander, and it just set up perfectly, had those units in center. The biggest thing with this map in general, as well with Victory Control Point, you hold center and then have a force that have two main forces, right? A force that holds center and a force that holds the side that they're pushing on, and then you rotate those squads out, right? So say I hold center, and he sends some forces down over to the left side. I move center, back, and down, and then I send my squad that was up in top down to mid, and then use them to create pressure on the flanks of their main force. If they're sending big just main forces out, then do it that way. And ultimately keep your forces spread and cover as many flanks as possible. That's probably my biggest tip for this game is flanking. Flanking is amazing. And think ahead. Think of what your opponent can do at any point of the game. But that is the end of this kind of build run through. It wasn't the best presented, but that is it. Thank you very much. More Dawn of War 2 content coming in the future. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.